Good afternoon to you guys. Hope everybody's doing well. It was great to get a win last week, and the way the game went, particularly early on, very excited about that. When you look at the first half, we had 69 yards total offense. They had, 56 yards rushing, 13 yards passing, and we're 0 for 5 right there on third down. So very pleased with how the ones played. It shows some improvement there, and we've got to continue to improve, particularly this week against Boston College, who very impressive up front. They're going to establish the run game. That's what they're known for, and they do a great job with their play action and deep balls over the top as well. So the one thing we got to make sure that we do, particularly long season, twos are going to play, backups are going to play. We've got to make sure that when we come in, we execute. Wasn't very pleased with how we played the second half, and that's on all of us. So with that, I'll take your questions.
You mentioned the Boston College offensive line. Coach Rinkus earlier was saying he would expect them to just kind of do what other teams have done successfully through the season. What can you take away from maybe that Kentucky game or even last week to prepare for to see some of the same stuff?
Well, when you look at their offensive line, it somewhat compares to Kentucky. You know, very big, very massive guys up front, a lot of NFL potential there. So, again, we just got to do a great job of really trying to set edges, get down the hill and not creases, get the double teams off, and make sure that we execute our assignments.
Steve, when you watch them, does it change much their offense depending on the quarterback? Obviously, their offense back what's the same?
It looks the same. I think he is just as effective for us running the offense. He's shown some things in the past. You go back and watch that Virginia game from last year. He was very impressive in that game. So he's very capable of running the offense, putting the ball where it needs to be. They do a great job getting out on the perimeter with the boots and play action. He's great with his feet. And you saw last week where he ran a couple of times there. So he's very effective in all areas. Well, it is at times, particularly when you start talking about a new scheme, new players, trying to deprogram from the things they did last year. I'm not going to sit here making excuses. We got to do a much better job for us stopping the run, period. But there's times that it's going to take a little bit for guys to understand the system. And when you start talking about the nickel, that's pretty much with 11 personnel. Teams see us when they go 11, all right, 3 wideouts, 1 tight end, we're in our nickel defense. When they go big, we go big, from a standpoint of Buffalo, as we call it. So there's times that we match up with their personnel, but bottom line is whatever personnel we're in, we got to execute and make sure that we stop the run. Well, when I think it's a trend, I think sometimes we talk about being 1 of 11. It's always sometimes just one guy, and that's all it takes within this defense, that one guy not executing and doing their job. So as you saw last week, it's just guys squeezing when they have the quarterback. We got to make sure that we're gap sound, but most importantly, right now, we take care of our responsibility. I thought it was better, just from an aspect of just being able to focus a little bit more. You don't have the noise, what I consider to be on the sideline. So my thoughts were clear. I was able to get ready for the next call. I thought it was great communication from the sideline to the box. Then I was able to see their personnel coming on the field and trying to get us in the call that I needed. So it was good. Give me that name one more time. Makai is definitely a guy that I think is going to be a good football player for us for a long time. Quick off the ball, very explosive. He's strong, can hold the double team, can split the double team, and given the opportunity to be one-on-one with the guard, he's been very effective for us winning his one-on-one. So I'm very pleased that he's here. I think, maturity-wise, I think he is a little bit beyond his age, the way he goes about his job and his work. Not at all. Our mindset, and Coach Drink does a great job of setting the tone. It's just 1-0. It doesn't matter who we're playing. It's a 1-0 mentality each week. So I'm not really into this being maybe the last game or whatnot. We need to win, and we need to come out very effective in what we're doing, particularly on the defensive side of the ball.
Steve, correct me if I'm wrong, you got into the second half. Do you think that can help you this year, or do you need a year to close it?
It all depends on how he progresses. I think he's moving forward. You guys got to understand he's coming off that Achilles, so it's taken him a while to really get back into the groove of things. This spring, he went through rehab, pretty much all the training camp. He didn't do a lot, so he's really getting back to really trying to practice and see what he can do.
You mentioned where that stuck out to you.
I don't think it's really any certain moments. I just look at guys on a day-to-day routine and how they go about their business. He's always locked in and focused. He's just serious about his work, and every time he comes into the meeting room, he's locked in. He's focused. In the weight room, you see him there, and then when he gets out on the football field, he's not a guy that continually makes the same mistakes.
How rare is that for a veteran to
I think I don't want to say it's rare. I think it's just everybody's different in how they're wired, and he's just very fortunate that he's just a somewhat mature guy, and he's locked in and focused. And from a personal level, in meeting his mom, I can tell why. She's just that kind of lady. She's just been that way with him and just making sure that she's always kept his thumb on him, and it's paying off. I think that starts with me, and based off how I call the game. When you go back and look at Central Michigan, a little bit more aggressive, and then you come back with the Kentucky game, we wasn't as aggressive right there in the things that we were doing. Our guys are very effective, being able to be multiple in what we're doing. So I think it's a pace on how the game is going. So to answer your question, it starts with me and how I call the game.